This is Mike Talks Cars podcast. By all reports, the reimagined North American International Auto Show, also known as the Detroit Auto Show, was pretty epic. Historically, the event took place in January, and attendees had to brave wild winter weather to partake. I am one of those crazy people that would make the trek to Detroit each year to see what was new, what was in, and maybe a little glimpse of the future. As a trainer, it was incredibly helpful to have all the vehicles in one place so I could compare them, take notes, and let's be honest here, so I could geek out with thousands of like-minded car nerds. I haven't attended since 2018, but strangely enough, this year is only the second one I've missed. There were not as many vehicle introductions as in years past, but there's no question about the direction of the industry by all the accounts I have read. Of course, there was a lot of interest surrounding the vehicle I talked about in my last podcast, the new 2024 Ford Mustang. The reaction to this vehicle has certainly demonstrated that there's still a healthy appetite for gasoline-powered performance vehicles. Hang in there, gearheads. I'm rooting for you. What the show also featured were a number of new hybrid offerings, like the Lincoln Corsair SUV and Toyota's flagship, the Crown 4-door. Is it a car? Is it a crossover? Well, you'll have to be the judge there. Electric vehicles were really the talk of the show. Buick had their new concept car, the Electra Wildcat, on display, for example, and the Lexus RZ 450e was rolled out, making Lexus's first leap into the electric vehicle pool. Also interesting is what wasn't at the show. Now, as the title of this podcast suggested, I'm going to talk about Ram trucks. There was no electric Ram pickup truck present to tease what Stellantis is planning for this all-important segment of the market. That doesn't mean that we didn't get a peek at their intentions, however. Ram's brand CEO, Mike Koval Jr., did give an interview to the Detroit Free Press, which was a clear indicator that something is going on behind closed doors. To quote Mr. Koval, "Over the next 6 to 8 months, the brand will be on a precipice of something extraordinary," he said. He also indicated that a Ram Revolution concept truck is planned to be shown the night before the LA Auto Show in November, and that the Stellantis brand would push past what the competition is doing. Now, this is pretty bold, considering the competition is Ford and GM, both of whom will have fully electric pickups on the market well ahead of Ram's offering, which isn't slated for release until sometime in 2024. It has become obvious in recent months that this whole electric truck thing is actually going to happen. Ram seems to see themselves as the smart alternative to Ford and GM, and they intend to use what they can learn from Ford's rush to the market to give them an edge in what makes a truck a truck. I'm talking about towing and hauling, of course. Trucks do have to be trucks. I actually live in the heart of truck country here in Alberta, and the reality of what a truck has to do is certainly something I know quite a bit about. I've seen trucks used to their utmost limits, mostly by my father and those like him that don't think a truck is loaded unless there are sparks coming off the rear bumper every time they go over a bump in the road. Sorry, Dad, but having the front tires touch the ground just often enough to steer the vehicle does not mean you are safely loaded. The truth is that only about 5% of trucks ever see any road surface but pavement anymore, especially in the United States. 4 of the 5 trucks that my closest neighbors own sit in their driveways 99% of the time. 3 of them are hooked up to camper trailers occasionally. 1 is used for commuting to the city when the weather is bad, and 1 hasn't carried anything more than 2 small kayaks down to the river a few weekends this summer. Those that need trucks for work will always look at what works for them economically. Trucks are a tool that they use to make money. Show them how your vehicle will work for them, and they'll buy it. Pretty much everyone else buys based on what they know. Just ask the 3 Ford Super Duty owners that are my neighbors. If they go to buy a new truck, they won't be walking into the Ram dealership. And heaven forbid that they are ever caught inside a GM store. The blasphemy of it. It is a good thing that there's such a heated competition amongst the big 3. It's yielded some great vehicles over the years. They push each other to do better, and that's just a win for the consumer. It will be exciting to see what Ram brings us for an electric truck. They haven't even named it yet. In the meantime, I'll be talking about Ford Lightning and the Silverado EV. Do you have a favorite truck? Tell me what it is and why it's your favorite in the comments. Or you can leave me a voice message at anchor.fm/Mike-Talks-Cars. This is Mike Little signing off for now. You go have yourself a very groovy day.